and just making sure that our audio levels are okay here. I want to welcome our viewers and listeners for our guest segment tonight. I'm welcoming John, Resedajohn. Did I say that correctly?
You did.
And it's is that named because of where you live, or is it? How did you get that name?
Oh, the handle. Yeah, that's where I live, and that's my name.
And you also go by John Brown as an alias on X, correct?
That's correct. Pretty much everywhere. A personal hero of mine, a man of action, not afraid of violence to oppose an oppressor, and a real good ally to blacks and Native Americans. So yeah, I like to use that as an alias.
Excellent. How long have you been on X slash Twitter?
Since 11/11/11, November 11th, 2011.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I was wanting to get on X ever since the Troy Davis execution, and that was right in September of 2011, I think. And I just wasn't ready to start an account, but I wanted to do it on that day because it was a special day, 11/11/11. So
Yes. Now, have you been following the so-called ceasefire in Gaza and everything that's going on in that area?
yes, and so-called is a good way to put it because it's they're still killing people. Israel is, and denying aid now. Um, I think it's pretty clear that they're not really wanting a ceasefire, Israel. They've got the hostages, and now they're waiting for the bodies, I suppose, for the ones who passed, but they're not going to stop.
Uh-huh. Yeah. I was talking about this with my friend, and I said, "Do you think the U.S. should stop sending weapons to Israel?" And he was kind of taken aback by my question. He was like, "Well, of course, from the very beginning. It's not. Why is it
Yeah,
such a question now of why sending weapons over? We never should have sent weapons. We never should have when we knew that they were killing Palestinians."
yeah, and we've known that from the beginning. And I think it was something that was calculated, and they said, "Well, that's a acceptable collateral damage or whatever," because they've been doing these raids and stealing houses and killing people since 1948, if not sooner, but since the state was a state, and they had the Nakba in 1948, where they thousands of people fled, and they have the right of return. And maybe that's where the hope is for Palestine in the future.
Yes. Have you anything in your local area in as far as No King's Day activism, protests? A lot of stuff going on tomorrow in major cities. Anything around your area?
Well, I'm in Los Angeles, so yeah, there probably is going to be a big parade downtown. Um, and I haven't heard anything about specific actions or anything like that. it's kind of like the Women's March, I guess. Very, liberal, anti-Trump. I plan to stay away from it.
Oh, so you think it's more aligned with progressive politics than actually radical praxis? Um, it's
Yeah.
as and they're supported by Democrats, or I mean, how is who's actually
Well, I think
organizing this?
I'm not actually sure. It's probably when I think of it, I think of it like some of the Democratic nonprofits and political organizations like gosh, I've forgotten their names. Is leaving my mind right now, but they mobilize people into the streets, and I wouldn't be surprised if the Women's March organization is part of this as well. I haven't looked at a list of sponsors, but I'm pretty sure it's Democrat Party aligned mostly.
Are you familiar? Have you ever heard of like bread tubing and this movement and YouTube to kind of promote leftist ideas and political theory and stuff? Well, we're here on Twitch, and a lot of the values on Twitch are about getting the best number, the widest viewership, and the most ad revenue, and all of this. Um, do you think that what we actually need are more people to be not doing so much about streaming and gaming, but as far as more doing mutual aid and doing kind of activism stuff and being more offline than promoting ourselves in games and stuff on Twitch? Do you have any opinion about that?
What is that?
Do you have any opinion about the sort of capitalist values that are kind of encouraged on Twitch with viewer analytics and trying to manipulate the algorithm? And what we actually need are more people not doing as much gaming and content creation, but more activism.
Well, I would agree with that, but I wouldn't down. Um, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. Say that the gaming and streaming has no value. Maybe the gaming, but everyone needs a release and some fun. But the other activities that can happen, like in places like this, even on other social media like X, um, which is where I'm pretty much only at, and these are places where we can have propaganda and agitate and educate. Educate the masses about capitalism and socialism.
Exactly. Do you participate in spaces on X or host spaces yourself?
I was for a while, not. I mean, like a month, and then I haven't. I don't really have a plan to go back to it. Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty much just a tweeter,
Yeah.
and then I do meet as well.
Yeah.
So the
Well,
algorithms on Twitch is like on X. Sounds like.
it is. It does seem like it has some of the same things where you have to have consistency and you have to kind of feed the algorithm with new content updates and make it happy and make the so that you'll get viewers. Otherwise, you get kind of soft blocked, or the algorithm discourages your viewers on your program on your viewers.
Shadow ban.
Yeah, shadow ban, right?
Yeah, I think I'm shadow banned on Twitter or X.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I'm not getting views like I was, and I've gotten emails from them that say my reach is being limited because I posted about Palestine or something. You know.
Now, how much do you think Elon Musk has to do with that? Do you think he exerts direct editorial influence over X and what people see?
I assume he does. At the very least, he sets a tone, and he gives directives, and people know what he's all about. They see his Twitter, and his opinions are not private. You know. So I think I think that he is the reason a lot of the negative changes on Twitter in the past few years. Just even changing the name, I still have not adjusted to the new name.
And then another thing he did was he turned off or he severely restricted the interfaces that bot developers used to have like quote bots that gave quotes from books and stuff like that, or had automated
Yeah,
posts. It was said that was done to prevent spam, but it just severely and the sad thing is it's happening in a lot of places because World of Warcraft, the game, it's doing the same thing so that it's at the community of add-on developers can't make add-ons for it anymore like it used to.
oh,
But
that's yeah, that's not something I'm too familiar with. I'm not a big gamer, but it sounds like it's pretty much the same.
yeah,
And that's what all these places want. They're all capitalists, and they want more money and more views. If that translates into more money, more advertising dollars, that's what they're gonna reinforce and go for.
it's really sad to see how police in this country are being turned against our own people and are terrorizing immigrant communities. And in Chicago, seeing how entire apartment buildings, people have been pulled out of their homes without, due process. And we've seen news reports that a significant number of federal law enforcement people have been reassigned to work on immigration.
Yeah.
Because, yeah.
Well, it's the Gestapo of our day. I mean, they're rounding people up, asking for papers, and that whole thing in Chicago was an incredible display of arrogance and look what we can do. I think they're going overboard and have way too much arrogance and confidence, and they're getting that from the top. Again, Trump is setting the tone. And they're probably feeling like they finally have the chains off, and they're doing what they probably always wanted to do. They're not good people.
No, they are not. And there was also a report today that Trump is taking over or exerting more control over the IRS Criminal Investigations Division. And that Trump is going to basically give them a list. And guess who's on that list? A lot of left activists, Antifa.
Oh,
And
yeah, I hadn't heard of this.
yeah,
God, they're being thorough. You know, the way they're going after different groups of people, they're being thorough. They're doing it from every angle.
it's really that we live in this era of so much financial surveillance that it affects how people do support activism, because they don't want to be flagged or accused of terrorist financing, because those are very serious charges.
Yeah,
And now the Department of Justice will try to level those charges on people who supported the organization that supports Palestinian prisoners.
yeah.
Sami
Well, they'll go
Dune.
after organizations that they want to go after for sure.
Yeah.
And you see, in Dallas, I think it was the protesters protesting ICE. I don't know if it was Dallas, but in Texas, um, at a nice facility there, were arrested and charged with federal anti-terrorism charges under the new anti-Antifa law or rules or executive order or whatever. And so they're starting already. And I wouldn't be surprised if people start getting knocks on the door in the middle of the night, and more things like that happen. But we'll see. I'm I'm not too worried about myself, um, but you know that can change, I guess.
Well, you saw the professor that wrote the anti-fascist handbook had to leave the country, basically.
Exactly, Mark Bray, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's I mean, the alarm bells are going off, and you know we need to, one, not get caught captured by the state, and two, try to you know, feed and protect each other until this is over, and look out for each other, you know, on the very basic neighborhood level, because that's where ICE is going to show up, and that's where the police are going to show up. And you see in Chicago all these community self-defense videos of people de-arresting somebody and scaring ICE out of their neighborhood.
Oh, wow.
So it can be done. Yeah, community self-defense. They were just filming. They weren't doing anything violent. They were asking questions, distracting the officers, and helping the person get away if you know they were right up on them. Um, and there was a big crowd, bigger than the number of people with ICE. So that's what it takes, and you know we need to show up if that happens in our neighborhood.
Well said.
Thanks.
Well, I'd like to thank you so much for stopping by the stream, and to our viewers and listeners, please check out John's X profile and follow on X. John, thank
Thanks,
you.
Teglin. Yeah, this was fun. Thank you.